Good morning. I know it's not time yet. I'm hoping there's no skippage from where I'm at. So we'll see. I'm going to connect to my other account. Good morning. So this morning, guys, we're going to be doing core. I've decided to do it outside today. You can do this wherever you want. Core is overall very important as a Canadian soldier and as just a normal personnel. Your core is where everything comes from, generates from. If anybody has ever had a back problem, they know that they're down and out when their back's hurting. So you need to protect this, and one thing to do to protect it is actually to make it stronger and get your body nice and tight and get ready to go. I'm going to do our disclaimer right now. It's also in the comments area, so I'm just going to play that. We play it every time, so I'm sorry. This is when you can get yourself nice and ready to go.
Reference job.
So thanks to Tracy for doing this for us.
In response to COVID-19, PSP is offering virtual fitness to Canadian Armed Forces members. By using social media platforms, the virtual fitness classes tailored to Canadian Armed Forces personnel become accessible to all. Participants who are not Canadian Armed Forces members recognize and acknowledge that their age, health status, and physical fitness levels are unknown, and it is entirely up to each individual to assess their ability to participate in this class. Since it is preferable to consult your physician before beginning any exercise program, we invite all participants who are not Canadian Armed Forces members to consult the Get Active questionnaire of the Canadian Society of Exercise Physiology and its reference document. If you experience any pain or difficulty during the exercises presented in this video, it is recommended that you stop and consult a healthcare provider. If a CAF member sustains an injury during this video, please remember to fill out a CFMWS.
Okay, I'm hoping everybody can hear me, and I could hear that. And we're going to get ready to go. Today's going to be a little bit more down-toned, but you can also make it as hard as you want, okay? I've just got to make sure that that is not a problem. No, that's okay. Just making sure it was none of my personnel from work. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to start off with a standing. You can be wherever you want. All I want you to do is actually engage your core, find your weight back and forth on your feet, and then stabilize onto your left leg, bringing your other leg up, automatically engaging your balance. Anything to do with balance, you must use core. Make sure your knee is stable, don't let it wave out in or in, and all I want you to do is just bring your foot nice and out. If you can, bring it into a nice slow and then back up. Nice slow and back up. One more time. And bringing it down, just going to the other side. So even if you're standing in your kitchen right now, you can be doing this. You can just stand on one leg, bring the leg out, core tight, up, and you should feel it pressing right through the back of your leg into your hamstrings and your glute. And up, one more time, and up. From there, just starting to get ourselves just down to front position. All I want you to do is put your hands down nice and straight. Try to keep your body nice and in line. From the side, just into your core, try to keep your body straight, stabilized, and just hold. From here, bring your knees down, hands out, and just stretch out your lower back. If you can't hear me, I'm sorry. I'll try to speak louder today. From there, bringing yourself forward, just all the way down, stretching out just your core just up front. Back up, into front plank, and hold. Now, really important here, just a second, I gotta make sure that there's nobody saying they can't hear me. Kate, can you hear me out there? Just holding in a front plank. What I want you to do today is, this is not about time. I want you to feel your core engage. I want you to feel where you're at. I don't want you to be worried about time or numbers. Bringing it back down, putting your hands out, and just doing a child pose. From here, all you're going to do is just bring both feet out in front of you. You're going to then bring a, I hope there's no ants out here. Bring your hands around your knees, and I just want you to go into a roll, up, and just up. Down, and then up. One more time, and up. From here, just bring your feet out, nice and straight. I'm going to move out a little bit so you can actually see everything. So hopefully I'm loud enough out here. I want you to bring both legs up, hold them nice and tight. From here, bring your knees out, bring your hands up straight, going into dead bugs. One leg out, opposite arm out, back up. Down, back up. Keep going. I'm just going to check in, make sure everybody can hear me from there. It's a little quiet, but I can hear you. Okay, I'll be a little louder. Thank you, Jess. Keep going with the dead bugs. When you start feeling your core engage and feeling a nice burn, that's good, but you shouldn't be feeling it in your lower back. If so, you're hyperextending your lower back. Keep your belly button nice and close. Make sure that your core is tight. Think of your belly button getting strapped to the ground. If you can, crunch it. Okay? And recover. From there, bringing both legs in. All I want you to do is let one leg out, pull on this other one slightly, and switch. If you need to lay down, that is fine. Again, don't let your core come out. Try to keep it nice and tight, flex to the ground almost. If you want to advance it, bring your upper shoulders up. Gives you just a little bit more of a crunch. Bring both knees back in, just hold them nice and tight, stretching out that lower back. From there, bring both feet up into the air. Allow one leg to go down, hold the other one slightly, and then just scissor it to the other side. Make sure that you're doing this one, that you're trying to keep your core still tight. If at any point you start feeling a little bit too much resistance, release it, go back and forth. But otherwise, legs up. You can actually grab your ankles if you have the flexibility, back of the leg, wherever you need to. And just allowing it to go down, back up, switching legs, down, back up, switching legs. From there, bring both knees back in, nice and tight. Stretch out that lower back, recover for a second. Let your legs go side to side if you choose to. And allowing both legs to go straight up in the air again. This one here, you're going to try to push your heels towards the sky. You can use your hands to stabilize you. So it's just up, back down, up, back down. Remember, you're listening to your body today, so I'm not telling you exactly how many to do. Go until you feel a nice burn. Release when you need to, okay? Bringing both legs back in. All I'm going to get you to do is stretch out again. Bringing your feet to the ground, letting the knees slightly go to one side, to the other side, just stretching out that lower back. It is a beautiful day out here. I'm just waiting for the ants to come get me. And bring both knees back in. From here, all I'm going to get you to do, remember once we start, you can keep going. And if I go and I start talking about something else, I will tell you when it's time to stop. Don't worry. So bringing both knees in, all I want you to do is trying to keep your shoulders up, but making sure your core is tight. If you can't do that, that's fine. Lay down on the ground. That's okay. From here, bringing both legs out one way, your hands out to the other, swiping it around. Trying to keep your core in, making sure your lower back is not hurting. If you need to be laying down straight, do that. If you cannot go to the extreme of out, just bring your legs up, hands out. If you only can go halfway, so just out halfway, that's fine too. Bringing your feet back in, stretching out your lower back. Allow your legs to go to one side, stretching out the lower back again. All down the spine. Back to center. Over to the other side. You can do this outside while you're tanning later today. So if you are not doing it right now, or if you only can do enough for one round today, that's fine. You can do this again while you're outside tanning, and you're getting a good exercise at the same time. Bringing both legs up. All I want you to do is going to a 90. Allowing your body to crunch up, feeling automatically your core engagement. Hands out to the side. Opposite. Back to center. Opposite. Back to center. Opposite. Back to center. This is controlled movements, so you're not going really fast. While you're doing that, keep going. If this becomes too intense, just bring your foot up to the ceiling and back to the center. Up to the ceiling. For more advanced, you should be going out. Nice, slow, controlled movements. Back to center, bring your feet down on the ground. Let them go one side and then to the other side. Back to center, planting your feet. Now these ones here are glute bridges. Yes, you want to engage your glutes mainly to help protect your lower back. So we're going to bring the glutes up, pushing up high, trying to get that space in between. Back down. Up. To make this more advanced, you would be lifting one leg up straight, bringing your hips as best as you can straight, back down, and up. doing 2 or 3 on each side. So whichever level you're at, please do it there. From here, bringing both knees in, stretching it out, right in, close to you. Try to stretch that up. You need to put your hands underneath your legs, that's fine too. From there, you're gonna grab your ankle, one ankle, and let the other leg go straight. Okay? If you don't have that flexibility, you can do your calf or your hamstring, that's okay. From there, you're just gonna scissor cut it down and switch. Trying to keep your core nice and tight. Bringing both knees in, stretching out that lower back again. Allow both legs to go to one side, keeping your shoulder as best as you can down on the other. Bringing it back to center, over to the other side. From there, bringing it back to center, holding it, bring yourself right to your side. From here, we're gonna just put your elbow directly underneath your shoulder. Now, here again, go at your own level. So if you want to, you can go right up to your feet and go up, trying to keep your body as best as you can in line. If you have to push your hip a little bit more forward, it's actually better than if you're trying to just go in hyperextending at your shoulder. I want your shoulder to stay in place, so it's got to be directly underneath your elbow. Okay, the socket needs to be engaged, core tight, and you're just gonna go up. Again, this is all on you today, so if you can go longer than what we're doing, that is okay. You can always pause this video in the future and do it as long as you can, and then go to the next movement. If you want to make it more advanced, hand up. If you want it more advanced, other foot up. Okay? Whatever level you're at, perfect. That's where we start. Back down, moving to the other side. If you do something on one side, you want to make sure you're doing it on the other side to keep our bodies nice and balanced. Okay? Bringing it to the other side, making sure shoulder, elbow, nice straight, okay? Up. So if you can go longer, please do so. Hands up for more advanced. Leg up if you want more advanced. But make sure you're going wherever you need to. If you need to, go down to your knees. Go to your knees. It's where you are at. The only way you're going to get stronger is going progressively up. So if you try to jump too far, you're going to hurt yourself. It's going to put you backwards. And recover, bringing it down, going into child pose. Hands out, that means hips back. From there, back up. All we're going to do is some mountain climbers. I know most of you already know how to do mountain climbers. Again, this is as many as you can do, and you can go as fast as you want. So you want to try to keep your body nice and aligned, not too far up, not too far down. And then bring one leg up and switch, switch, switch. If you want to go faster, go faster. If you want to go slower, go slower. Keep going. Once we start, you keep going until you can't go anymore. again, bring yourself down. Child pose again, bringing it back. Bringing yourself back up to right up on all fours. Trying to put your knees directly underneath your hips. Again, hands, elbow, shoulder, plant, and just push up. Trying to round your back up, then push down. Back up, nice and slow. And back down. From here, all you're going to do is you're going to bring your feet out, planting it. This is the bottom of a burpee. So you jump your feet in, jump your feet out. Okay, if you can't do that, keep going if you can. Just in and out. If you can't do that, that's fine. All I want you to do at that point is step in, step out. Okay? Otherwise, it's in, out. In, out. Core tight, nice and strong. Keep moving. We have stuff blowing in the yard. Otherwise, up, up. Okay, we're ready to go. This is like getting ready for your rushes, taking off that way. Plus also, this is another great movement for getting up and down as fast as you can. Back down, knees out. From there, all I'm going to get you to do is just lift one leg. Core tight, try to stabilize. If you got that down, opposite arm up. Bringing your hands back in, other side. Make sure your knees are directly underneath your hips, all the way to the other side. And back down. From there, we're going to go back up. We're going to go right into a front plank again, making sure that you're doing it at your own level. So if you need to go from here and just hold, core tight, feet planted. If you need to go to your knees, please put your knees. Main thing is to try to keep your back as straight as possible. So knees can go down if you need to, but you want to then try to push your hips and you want to make sure the elbows are directly underneath the shoulders. Knees back down, going back into a child pose, just push. Bring yourself back to center, laying on your right side. All I want you to do now with this time is try to engage your core, line your hips up straight, and I want you just to lift your leg, okay? Let the leg come up and then slowly back down. Don't actually let it go all the way down. Try to think of it as an arrow coming out of the side of your hip, so that way then it's nice and straight. Bringing it back down, keeping it nice and straight. Try to not let it go on the ground. Just doing a nice big circle with it. Core tight. We're going one direction right now, only one direction, so keep going. Big circle. You can do it nice wide, that's great. Depending on your hips flexibility. Don't want any pain, but you are going to feel a nice little burn start. And switching directions. So big circle still. If you were going forwards, go backwards. Now bringing it back to the middle, little circles. So just a tiny circle, just with your hip, just a little. Think of drawing a grapefruit with your big toe. If you can go faster, you can go faster. If you can't, that's fine too. Core tight, always core tight. Switching directions, other way. Release, going to the other side. If you do something on one side, you must do it on the other. So we're going to start off the same, making sure it's nice and lined. Try to keep your core tight, hips on top of each other, leg up, back down. Back to center, big barrel. Drawing a big barrel with your big toe. And reversing it, backwards. And little circles. Just little circles, still trying to keep it nice and up. You should feel a light burn right into the side of your hip. That's a puppy. And release it, backwards, little circles. And relax. This is the point where I would actually tell you, if you are more advanced, you need to start over, do it again, at least 2 more times. If you're a beginner, this is a perfect place to start, just off that. Okay, so once you are done, bring your hands out, stretch out your lower back. Bringing yourself back up, going in to bringing your body forward, stretching out your core. And bringing yourself back to center. All I want you to do is bring your one leg across, nice and close. Turn your body slowly, just so you feel a stretch. There shouldn't be pain. And switching legs, bringing the opposite leg down, opposite leg around, and just going the opposite way. Back to center. Any of the other stretches you enjoyed today, so even laying on your back, letting your legs flop to the side, all these other stretches, you can do them now too, okay? If you're more advanced, this was a beginner starting you off. Well, there's a lot of people that haven't been doing stuff with this COVID stuff. It's very important for us to not overtrain the core, because we use the core constantly every day. We have to do it to go upstairs. We have to, but this here, I want you to more concentrate on yourself and what you need. So if you just did that and you're like, hey, I'm doing really good, and you choose to do that again today, do so, okay? Make sure you're really concentrating on your movements. You can always push it harder. That was the beginner's level, so if you wanted to do that again, all you have to do is listen to my cue and you know exactly what you're about to do and go as hard as you can do. Just make sure you're safe. CF98 military if there's any problems. Civilian if you get hurt in any way or if you start feeling any kind of too much tension, too much heat, recover, relax. If there's any pain, automatically stop and go and see your physician just to make sure that it's okay, that there's nothing that you need to make sure that your core is more engaged or so forth. Anybody that needs to talk to me, please don't be afraid to send me more emails. I'm sorry if I'm a little bit behind, but I will get back to it all, I promise. Just been a little bit more busy than I thought. Okay, so have a great day. It's beautiful out. Play that 2 or 3 more times today. Now that you know the program, you can go a little harder, plus also you can skip this part and you can skip the beginning part. Have a great Tuesday. See you soon. Bye, guys.